So many. Many times plenty multiplier. Many times plenty multiplier.
Hi and welcome back to Africa Reader. Thanks so much for coming back on here again. I really am glad to have you on here. And if you are new on my channel, coming on here for the first time, please do hit that subscribe button. Thank you. A few days ago, a Nigerian singer, a star, lost his battle against cancer in the United States, and he was buried there. Sultan was a great musician. He was a man loved. He was a down-to-earth person and humble. It's so unfortunate that he had to fight with the big C and tragically lost his life in that battle. So being a Muslim, his funeral already took place in America. And I'd like us to have a look at that funeral before going into the topic of today. But before you watch the video, I would like to say something about South Sultan's widow. Watching her, you would see that in the video. Watching her, I was really moved to tears. I could really feel her genuine pain at her loss, which on the one hand made me very sad. I really cried watching that video, seeing the pain of the young widow. But on the other hand, it was also good to see that somebody who has gone left behind people that love him so much.
Check out the sorrow. What's your sorrow? It's on. Okay.
I'm going to talk about in this video is very important, because this diaspora we're living in, the children we're raising here, a lot of them, they don't pay regard to things that are important to us. I have seen people here in the diaspora, when they die, before their body is in the ground, their family is already going back to work or attending functions. So please, take the advice in this video very serious. So in this video, I'm going to talk about funerals in the diaspora. Please, please, and please again, if you are living in the diaspora, make provision for your funeral. I'm not just talking about financially. Make provision of how you want your funeral to be. In this video now, you can see that in the case of this young man, his family wanted a family funeral, which is perfectly okay. But if you look, you will notice that the people around, they are not really very organized. The prayers were not organized properly. There was a bit of commotion about it. These are the things you have to also look at, not just the funeral expenses. I know in the past, at least Africans, most of us were just requesting that once we die, send our body home. But now more and more people are being buried in the diaspora, especially now with Corona coming up. We have learned that sometimes, even if we want to, we cannot have our bodies being taken back home. We have to be buried in the diaspora. So let us make arrangements for our funeral, not just financially, but also how it will take place. I've gone to a lot of funerals here, quite a few in the diaspora, and they have been really chaotic, especially when these funerals are being organized by us, like when the funerals are being organized by Africans. Let me speak for African funerals as an African. Especially when new churches are involved. I'm not saying that these new churches are not as good as the old churches, but let me say, like in the Catholic Church or the Protestant Church, there is a procedure for a funeral. There are certain things that are done. So it's like a ritual. It takes place that way. But I've gone to funerals of these new churches where they don't know what to do. There was one funeral I went to. There were like 3 or 4 pastors standing around the grave. They were picking calls during the funeral. Then they started discussing among themselves. What do we do? Do we say this prayer? Do we say that prayer? Do we walk around the grave? We walk around it 3 times. It was confusion. Funeral is supposed to be a very solemn event at the graveyard. It's supposed to be very solemn. And even if there's singing and mourning, it should be organized. Especially here in the diaspora. I'm talking about the diaspora, because back in Africa, I can tell you this about funerals. They are very large. People are all around the place, but it's somehow more organized than what is going on in the diaspora, because the people know what to do in Africa back home. But many of us in the diaspora, we came here young. We don't even really understand a lot deep into the culture. We didn't really attend funerals as grown up so often in Africa before coming here. So we don't know how these funerals function. Please make arrangement for your funeral and how it should be organized. If you are in a church, talk to your church pastors. Have laid down procedures for funerals. It's really important to give that last respect in a very good way. Now, I know that in Europe, if you are a Muslim, there are these Muslim insurances you can take out, or through the mosque, you can join an organization, be paying money, so that when you die, they will come and give you an Islamic funeral. They will come and bathe your body and bury you Islamically, how it's supposed to be done. So, especially if you are a Muslim and you are not involved in Muslim organizations and you are probably married to a Christian, it's going to be a problem when you die, unless if they are Muslims that come out and say, yes, we're going to give our brother a Muslim funeral. If not, you might not have that funeral. So please, if you are a Muslim or you are a Christian, link up to your religious groups. about how you want to be buried and how the funeral should be carried out. It's very important because that last journey should be one of respect.